Alright, so the clips we're gonna be seeing are from after we drew against Vancouver from like the 8th. Today's Friday. Tomorrow is the game against New York Red Bulls. Let me organize this better. So as you can see, I'm editing at the moment. I'm not gonna blur that out. Don't care really anymore. But yeah, you're gonna see in clips split in two parts. One is gonna be the reaction to the loss and just me venting, and in the second part, it's gonna be more optimistic about what I think our approach should be towards the game against the Red Bulls. We're playing Yankee Stadium. It's definitely gonna be packed since the tickets are being sold for like $50, which is crazy. Because usually lately has been like 20-ish, 30-ish because we've been having a bad season. 12 draws. I think it's 13 losses, 6 wins. Let's get to 7. Um, we have a history in terms of like overall record. We've lost more against Red Bulls than one. There's been one draw, if I recall correctly, but in recent history, we've been winning a lot against Red Bulls. Aside from that game in the Leagues Cup, which was a 1-0, I believe. I think it was a 1-0. I watched it, so yeah. Aside from that game, we usually do pretty well against the Red Bulls, especially when playing at home. That game we were playing away, even though we were technically the home team, it was complex. No, we were the away team. Because they got more points in their group. But yeah, I think we should be beating them. The Rebels have been having an awful record in away games. Plus, they've been very poor this season. Poorer than us. Because they have more losses than draws. And we have more draws than losses. So it's like insane. Um, we should be definitely looking out for Tolkien. I think they should be back. I think the international break is over. Should be looking out for Tolkien, of course. Vencier, Amaya, Luzquiña. Guys. You know the Rebel guys. If you're in New York for long enough, you will hear them often. It's like, oh, they're doing good, but it's not enough for the team. They're not working as a group enough. So yeah, I feel very optimistic. I think we could win this. I honestly do. 2-1. I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna go out. We're winning this game 3-0. You hear it? You hear me? 3-0 against the Red Bulls. Now, this is my prediction. This is gonna be the intro. Now, next clip is gonna be me venting against the Whitecaps and the direction the club is taking. So let's go to that. Alright. Alright. We're just gonna start with wing it. Alright, welcome everyone. Alright, welcome everyone. I'm Jose. Why did I do this? Welcome everyone. I'm Jose. As you can see, NYCFC fan. Flag, banner, the whole shebang. I have jerseys I just got last game. In our game against Vancouver, which we should have won, but we didn't. Yes, it was a self-test penalty, but you put yourself in that position. We should have been winning that game. Same when we won against Montreal, but as I be, currently on 30 points, 12 in the Eastern Division in the Eastern Conference. 3 points away from the qualification playoffs with an extra with 2 games more than Charlotte, which is in 11th. Not a good state, very bad state, and this is my first season supporting them from beginning to end. Like the very first game. Last season, I started supporting after the summer, so right before they started going to the playoffs, they were like fourth or third, something like that. And the season before that, I only watched them before the playoffs, which was the season we won the competition, 2021. So I'm quite recent, and I quite still notice a lot of things because I've been part of the game and been looking at it since 2014. Um, became a fan. Shout out to James Rodriguez to this day, and we're in a bad state. We sold one of our best players. We keep playing Pellegrini. We keep playing the wrong players, the wrong position at the wrong times. And as you can see, I have the it's right here, Cushing out part of all my streams. If you want more, um, I'm gonna leave the link to my Twitch channel. I'll be on there. I'll be playing games, but also talk about NYCFC. Sometimes I'll be react to the games when I don't wanna go to the games or they're playing away in like Real Salt Lake. Nothing you can do. It's Utah. I'm not going to Utah for a game. At least not at the moment. That would be a good idea actually. Even got the cup. I got the cup. I got the cup at the stadium because they just give it out. They sure they were giving it out for free at the conference finals. Not the conference finals. At the MLS Cup finals. The event they were holding downtown. They were giving out the shirts. I got one. Someone left the shirts on the chair. I took that one too. Basically to win. This team's not in. Chanot is out. I don't really fully trust Thiago Martins. I think Sands should be starting. It should be Sands and Risa. And Martin should be playing more like a rotation role. Aiden needs to now be playing in the center. Should be playing right back. Left back should always be Kufre. I still don't know why we ever went with the back three. At one point, yes, it was working. Justin Hack was performing exceptionally, which is why I'm surprised that he's not. There's no consistent or solid lineup. Everyone is appalled by it. And like for example, in the last game, he took out Bakar and changed him for Richie, and then he put Santi more down, and it's like, what is happening? Like you taking out Bakar, even though he hasn't worked, you put in Talis Magno, because at least he's a forward player and not a midfielder. Because as much as I love Richie, he's not very good offensively, even though he does shoot a lot from the outside of the box, which I like. I enjoy that. I want them to shoot more. They don't shoot as often as they should, and they should be shooting a lot more than they do. Um, Alfredo Morales not playing, very confusing choice for me, but Perea doing wonders in the midfield. That game was all Risa, Perea, and Maxi. Then Maxi went out injured. He's out for the rest of the season. Perea, we should try to sign him. Santi Rodriguez, I've been saying it for a while. He just doesn't give it. Like this time, I was hyped that he returned. I was like, yes, he's back. He's gonna be number 10, whatever, whatever. But he's not. I don't know. It's not. It's not hitting right now. He complains a lot. He got a yellow card last game just from complaining. He didn't get fouled or anything. Someone else got fouled, something like that, and he kept on complaining. And I like that they have a lot of passion, but Santi seems just like desperate in a way, and it's like out of place with the rest of the team. The rest of the team giving their 100% for every tackle, and then Santi's out here doing some random stuff that is just like this just doesn't make sense. Why are you doing this at this moment? We go back. We are playing. I like. I was at the game for the Vancouver, and I saw in several occasions Maxi, telling Santi and who else was it? I forgot who else was it. It was after Bakar was out, and before he went injured, he's telling them like, "Oh, come in, move, get that position, get the other guy," and it's like Santi needs that. But as soon as we remove that, Santi is like go all over the place, and it's not good for him. He's a very toxic player, but he's very South American type player, so it's fine. It's fine. Um, yeah, I think I'm very pro Cushing out. I think Gabe Siegel going on loan to Israel, bad choice. He should have stayed at City. They should have tried to keep him and have him as a substitute for Bakar or learn from Bakar because Bakar is also young, but Siegel is younger than him and he literally came up from the reserves. Um, I think our next game is a derby against Red Bull. I'm going to that game. I'll be there. So pop in. Um, I think that's the game that defines if we make it to the playoffs or not. Because I think it's like 6 more games left in the season. Um, After that game, assuming we don't make it to the playoffs, we should start calling all of the players that were very outstanding in the next pro and have them play. Just give them a chance, give them 30 minutes, 25, however long, but give them time to be part of the team and add a different mixture. Because it's just not gluing, it's not sticking. This team has lost its spunk. It has lost a lot of the things that I was like, okay, cool. We haven't had a good performance. Aside from last game, we had a bad performance, which is why we lost. We tied, but it's a loss technically. Montreal we won, and we didn't even play that well. We just played slightly better than Montreal, and we're able to score 2 goals. Before that, our last game that I think we played very well. Um, Against Toronto we did well, but that's Toronto. They're in a huge mess at the moment. That game, I don't know, weird. I think it was the Philly game at City Field. We lost 3-1 that game, which to me, being at the game, was very surprising because there were for very long lapses of the game that we were not just equal to Philly in terms of like dominance of the game, but better than Philly. But we lost because Philly have they gelled already. They got their team, and it was really just three counter attacks. And because I believe Philly in that whole game they shot 4 times and they scored 3 times, and we shot seven. We scored only once. Something like around that those numbers. Like we shot more, but they scored more because they were just more accurate. And yeah, the hope for NYCFC is that at the very least we close out the end of the season with a few draws, no losses, and the team having better performances. Because I believe even if you lose sometimes, you can still be the better team. Because as we know, the better team doesn't always win. The team that wins is kind of like the team that wants it the most. Um, but yeah, I think if we put in a good line of performances and test some of the youth from NYCFC 2, I think it can be a good end of the season. And for the playoffs, I don't know. I don't think we make it to the playoffs. I have been. Uh, hold, how long? Let me see. I've been convinced that we don't make it to a playoff since we lost against Cincinnati. Not even. Since the loss against Minnesota. Yeah, we lost against Minnesota at home, and I was like, I know they have Timu Puki, Reynoso, Sinclair, but I think in terms of like player quality and like names, our team should be better than Minnesota. We should at the very least tie that game, and we lost. And that's the main difference. When you start losing the games, you're supposed to be at the very. Now that we just saw my video against not my video, my part venting the score against the Whitecaps in the direction of the club. Now let's get to some predictions. I think we'll be playing a 4-2-3-1 on paper. But I think Cushing is gonna go with 3 at the pack. Whenever we have been playing lately, um, on paper it says 4 at the back, but it has been 3. If you watch the games, you'll notice right away. He switches to a 3. Damn, it's messed up, huh? We're doing good. He switches to a 3. I think he has decided to start with Freeze at the back, so Freeze will start. It's gonna be Freeze, Risa, Gray, and Martins. Hopefully he plays Kufre. You know, at some point, Pellegrini is gonna come in. Um, my ideal formation. I'm not gonna talk about what Cushion's gonna do. Cushion's gonna do what Cushion's gonna do. Extremely unpredictable, but then at some points, kind of predictable because you know what his approach is gonna be. But it's just like sometimes it's like, well, why are you doing this? My approach would be to play a 4-2-3-1. I think this is the game where Magno could make a difference. You play Magno on the left mid. You play who you play on the right mid? Because Maxi's out. I'll play Santos Rodriguez on the right wing, and then in the middle, Ledesma. Our pivots, I will put Alfredo Morales and Perea. I will leave. I will bench Martins, Thiago Martins, and I will bench Alfredo Morales. No, Keaton Parks. Alfredo Morales is playing. Bakar's got to start. So there's a point we sent Seagull to Israel on loan. Because I think he should be on the bench. As an understudy for Bakar. Though Bakar is young, but he has more experience playing in Europe, and Seagull has only played in the MLS. But he'll get some experience playing in Israel. Since they do qualify for the Champions Leagues, even though they're not in Europe, but it's not. We're not gonna talk about that. Pellegrini should not be playing. Leaving on the bench, he's not been effective. He is only good when we're playing with wingbacks, and we need a defensive wingback because his forward play it's concerning. I also think that he should be playing more down the middle than on the wings. Also because of his forward play. Like he should be playing as like a number 6 kind of type of players. Like be in the middle, move, dribble, pass, and just let them handle it. Because the whole dribbling, taking away, that's not him. That's not his play style. Sorry. Um, I yeah, like I said in the intro, a 3-0 result is the way. I'm gonna be at the game. I'm gonna be with the supporter section. Um, it's gonna be lit. A lot of people are gonna be coming since it's in Yankee Stadium. A lot of NYCFC fans are gonna be coming in. A lot of Rebel fans are also gonna be coming in since they've been here since the 90s. Not the Rebel, but like that team. They also have a big fan base in the city. And probably people traveling from Jersey or wherever they're traveling from. I just dropped something. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I would say 3-0 and score. Bakar scores. I want Sense to score. He's been having a rough couple of matches. I think his last game, the game against the Whitecaps, was his third game that he's considered a penalty. I believe he conceded one when we play against Minnesota. He also considered a foul. That was very soft, but you learn, you make mistakes, you grow. 3-0, Bakar. Santis also been going through a rough patch, so I'm also doubtful that he should be starting, but let's get him in, provide the energy. Bakar, Sands to score, and when he comes in, Keaton Parks. Keaton Parks should be coming in minute 65. He's slow, yes, but he's consistent. He should be coming in for Alfredo Morales. Do not take out Perea. Cushion. Come here. Cushion. Nick Cushion. This one's for you. Do not take out Perea. Do not take out Bakar. Stop freaking putting in Kevin O'Toole. Let him develop. Let him get his stamina. Let him get his run. Let him show out. Let him prove himself. Because he's been playing a lot. And most of the times he's been playing, he's been a weak link. He's been a very weak link on the wings. As a wingback, I don't know why he keeps playing. Definitely start with Kufre. Definitely start with Kufre. Even though Kufre he's been given a different role. He's not been off, but he's playing differently. He's still playing good, but he's playing differently than from what he used to when he first started. Um, but yeah, question. Do not mess this one up. I think, just like everyone else, we're gonna be looking at the substitutions, substitutions. So at the I don't know 55th, 66th, 80th minute, whenever the subs happen, everyone's gonna be looking at those. Since so far this season, you've only nailed three of them, three matches. We are on match day what 28? Like, come on, bro. You should have 28 games and you gotten the subs right three times. Come on, that's. At first, I was like, you know what? Let me believe in Cushion. Cushion, he doesn't have a striker. Let's give him a chance. He got a striker. I gave him about 4, 5 games, which is more than he needed because they got out of the League's Cup early, and they had a month to gel. And the game when they came back, lost, which should not be happening. NYCFC is a team that should be on the playoffs every season, and we should be high on the playoffs. It's New York City. Like, it's the same way as like LA should be having a team in the playoffs. Texas should be having a team in the playoffs. Same thing with New York City. And it should be us because the Red Bulls, they also be having a bad season, but they make it to the playoffs often. And for the sake of our honor and respect as a franchise that has already won the whole thing, we should be playing the playoffs. If you have won the MLS Cup and you were present, you should be on a playoff position. And we're not. And that is embarrassing. You should have more pride in yourself. You should reconsider things. I don't want it to sound like an attack. I am just saying this is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing season. This is an embarrassing season. I hope you know this. I hope you're aware. Because if you're not, it's gonna sting. You better be having your head on a swivel. Because if this is the thing. If you let's say we don't make it to the playoffs. Worst case scenario. We don't make it to the playoffs and you get sacked. If you don't expect it, it's gonna hurt. Now, we don't make it to the playoffs and you don't get sacked. And you don't get sacked. You remain in the team. The fans are not gonna like that. We're not gonna like that. I can guarantee you that. And it's gonna be rough playing at home because it will be just like playing another away game. Simple as that. So, what we need to do, win this game in Yankee Stadium. We have 4, 5 more games after this one. 2 of them at home. Home. We're playing New York Red Bull Arena. We're playing Red Bull Arena. We should be winning those two. And the away games should be ties. If we lose any of those games, our chances to make it to the playoffs, gone. Making it to the playoffs position is not an achievement. Just making it is not an achievement. Getting to the conference semifinals, not an achievement. Getting to the conference finals, sure. Sure. It's like, you know what? We could have done better. But we got this far with what we got. This is a team that should be fighting for the whole thing. Year in, year out. There's a team that's given its all, 110%, putting the energy, their body on the line, and the results are not happening, which means it's due to one thing: it's a manager. The team is giving the 110%, and you can see every game they're trying very hard, but the results are not there. Who do we talk to? Who do we talk about? I do wish us the best of luck. Hope we do win. Even if it's not 3-0, hopefully it is 3-0. So that I can brag that I was right. And I can go back to this video like, yo, I predicted this. But if we don't win, don't expect anything from those games at the Red Bull Arena. And hopefully, hopefully, if we don't make it to the playoffs, you better hope you get sacked. I'm just saying that. Anyways, if you like this, even though it ended on a very serious and dark note, leave a like, comment something. How do you feel about the organization? How do you feel about Cushion as a coach? If you had to hire a manager, anyone, really, who would you like to see in New York City coaching the team? I'll be live on Twitch Monday and Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays from 8:30 to 12. Usually, sometimes earlier. Sometimes I start earlier, sometimes I end later. But I should be on from 8:30 to 12 p.m. 12 a.m. If you want to watch more, hang out. We do some stuff over there. But otherwise, in the meantime, let's just hope for the best. You know, after all, this is the best city in the world. This is the city of the world. Even though, you know what? This is the city of the world. That's what it be. I was Nacho. I'm gonna see you on the next one.